Hello, freak bitches.
I hosted a show as a favor one time and ended up snapping on a lady in the audience and ruined the show. And they were like, thanks.
Why did you...
Dude, because I arrived, it was a showcase for Montreal. And I arrived at the show before it, right? So there's like a 7 o'clock thing and then the 9 o'clock showcase. And they asked me to host it. And a lady at the 7 o'clock show, at the earlier show, is in like the front row just yelling out, drunk. And she's older, and she's like, yeah, like tagging every comics thing, commenting on it. And I'm like, oh. And I'm just like so irritated, but I'm like, well, at least, you know, this show's almost over. So the show ends, you know, people leave. We're getting ready to start a second show. I look, she's staying in her seat. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. So second show starts, and I'm already, you're primed. You know, like if you watch something that gets you agitated, and then... You're like
overreacting.
Yeah, you're overreacting because you're like you're primed for it. So like it started and it was like I said like my first joke and she said, I go, you fucking cunt, shut up. Right? And then
no one knows you have a history.
No. So
it just looks like you lit her up for no reason.
Oh yeah, dude, people in the audience are like, don't talk to her like that. And I'm like, you don't know what she's doing. Like so, and then it just went really, and then I'm like, give it up for this guy who wants to go to Montreal. Like,
oh no,
it was terrible. It was terrible.
Oh no.
But then she ended up leaving. Her friend came back in, and while I'm on stage, goes, "Did you call her a cunt?" Like in the show, and I go, "Yeah." She goes, "That's my friend," and I go, "Well, then you're a cunt too." And then she leaves, and her son comes back. Her son comes back looking for me. He's like, "Can I talk to you for a second?" And I was like, all right. And he looks serious too. And he was like, did you call my mom a cunt? And I go, which one is she? And he goes, this lady over here. So I go outside and I talk to basically the lady who was the friend. So I go, she goes, what is going on? What? I go, your friend has been disrupting, yelling out people, drunk, belligerent. She goes, you call her this? You call me that? And I go, all right, well, I'm sorry I called you that. But I'm not sorry I called your friend that. She is what she is. And she's like, you can be a nice person. I see it in you. And I was like, oh.
She got you with love.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah. I go, get your friend out of here. No one wants her here, okay? And she was like, okay. And then her son was like, thank you. That was very disrespectful to my mother. And I was like, okay, man, we're good. I got to go back and host this disaster that I created. Yeah.
Oh, it's
it was
the worst.
Such a train wreck.
Well, some people just think that if you're saying something they disagree with, they don't think that they need to just like wait it out. They think they can stop you in the middle.
Yeah.
And the problem for me in particular, like a lot of my bits start off one way, like they look like they're going to be way more outrageous than they are, and then I turn them around.
Sure.
But when I'm starting it off, and then you just attack, like you're fucking up the bit. Like you don't even understand what I'm doing.
It's the whole thing about freedom of speech in a weird way. I had a joke about pedophilia, and I just started it, and the woman, this woman who was a fan of mine and everything, she just goes, "No, stop!" And then now it looks like I'm pro pedophilia. I haven't gotten to the fucking punchline. It just looks like I'm into fucking kids, because now I'm not allowed to finish it.
No, those people shouldn't be, allowed at shows because they're not even letting the art form take place.
Yeah, you can't.
You crafted something. You're like, let it play out.
You can't do that. I mean, they should just kick you out. You just you're fucking up the whole experience for the whole crowd because, like a guy like Brian Holtzman would literally never be able to perform if the audience is filled with people like that.
Yeah.
So people like you and I who enjoy him, we would never be able to see him because his whole act is saying outrageous shit like that absolutely he doesn't really mean.
Right.
But the funny thing is the twists and the turns,
right?
And getting you to laugh at this.
The other funny thing is that he's supposed to act like he does mean it.
Yes.
Like that's what's funny.
Yes.
It's like that people are like always like, they get super upset about this thing and it's like he said this and that. Like, yeah, but don't you get that it's the performance.